Hello guys, welcome to our channel. So today in this video we will see how can we use Microsoft Excel to solve the mathematical equations. So to start with Excel, first of all we need to press Windows and R together in the keyboard so that we'll see this run command. So in run command we'll type Excel, EXCL Excel and hit enter. As soon as we hit enter, we'll see this Excel worksheet. So in this Excel worksheet now we'll solve our mathematical equations. So to solve the mathematical equations in MS Excel, first of all we would need an add-ins, that is solver. So to use solver in our worksheet, we need to click on file. So in files we have several options. So in these several options we have options above exit. So we'll click on this option. After clicking on option, we will see this window. So in this window we have this add-in option. So we'll click on this add-in. After clicking on this add-in, we will see this manage here. So next to manage we have go. So we'll click on this go and the add-in window appears. So in this add-in window we have several options. So these options may vary system to system. So in if it varies there is no problem, but we should have the solver add-in option here. So in the solver add-in option we'll check it. So after checking it we'll click on OK. Okay, now add-in has been included in our worksheet. So to check whether it is included or not, we will click on this data. So in data we have here solver. So if solver is not appeared in your system, then you can redo the process. So it may be due to some of the error. Okay, now let's begin to solve the equations. So now let's start with the very simple equation 2x minus 1 equals to 0. So this is our equation. So let's give it a heading, that is given equation. Okay, now we have given equation. So after doing this, now we need to assign a cell for the variable. So let's variables. Okay, for this equation the variable is x. So we'll assign this cell. This cell is assigned for variable. Now what we need to do is, this equation is not understood by Excel. So we need to write this equation in Excel format so that Excel can understand. So okay, so these headings are optional. If you don't give heading, then there is also no problem, but for our ease we are using these headings. So the equation in Excel format, to begin with it we need to write equals to. So after writing equals to, now we need to write the equation. So 2 into x. So the x is this cell. Yes, this cell has been assigned for x. 2x minus 1, and we hit enter. So after that we assign the equation, but we have equals to 0 or anything can be after equals to, so that we assign in constraints. So what is constant for this equation? It's 0. Now we can solve. So to solve this equation, click on this cell and go to data. In data we have solver, so click on solver. So after doing this we'll have this window. So we'll reset this window first. Okay, after resetting this window, now we have set objective. So what is our objective? Our objective is this equation. So we will click on this cell. After doing that we need to set the constraint. So we have to click on this value of. So what is the value of our constraint? The value of our constraint is 0. So we will write here 0. After doing this, so we need to set our variable here. So what is our variable? Our variable is x, and the cell assigned for our variable x is this. So we'll do it here. So our answer or the solution of x will appear on this selected cell. Now one thing to remember here is we have option make unconstrained variables not non-negative. So if we tick this, then if our result comes negative, then the program will show the error. So to avoid that error we need to uncheck this and click on solve. After doing this we have the solution 0.5. So if we substitute the value of x is equal to 0.5 in this equation, then the equation is satisfied. So we can say that our solution is 0.5. In this way we can solve a very simple equation in MS Excel using solver add-in. Similarly, to solve multivariable equations, so let me erase this first. Okay, so I have equation like 2x plus 3y is equals to 7, and the next equation is 3x plus 8y is equals to 9. So if these are my equations, then now how can I solve? Let's see. So what are our variables? Our variables are x and y. These are our variables, and these two cells are assigned for x and y respectively. Now we need to write the equation in Excel format, so we'll give equals to 2 into x. So our x is this cell 2x plus 3 into this is our y, and hit enter. So what is our constant? Our constant is 7. So write 7 here and hit enter. Now the next equation is 3 into x. So what is x? This is x. Sorry, I missed equals to. Okay. Now 3 into x is this, plus 8 into y is this, and hit enter. Now what is our constant? Our constant is 9. So hit 9 here and enter. Now after doing this, we have set all our equations. Now it's time to solve it. So to solve the equation, click on this cell and click on solver. So after doing this, we'll reset all those values and okay. Now what is our objective? Our first equation is our objective. So this is our first objective. And what is our constant? The value of constant is 7 for the first equations. And what are the cells we need to find? So these two are the cells. We can select it like this. We have selected the cells. Now what we need to do is we need to uncheck this. Now we have done with first equation, but we have to use second equation also. So to add the second equation, we'll click on this add. After doing this, we'll see this add constraint window. So what is the cell reference for our second equation? So this is the cell reference, and we'll change this to equals to, and what is our constant? Our constant is this 9. So if we select it, it comes here. Now we'll click on OK. Now both of our equations are selected. Now we'll click on solve and OK. So here we have values of x and y, and if we substitute these values of x and y in this given equations, then the equation gets satisfied. So these are the solutions of our equation. So in this way we can solve an equation containing two variables. Now let's see how can we solve the equations including three variables. Now let's begin. So let's remove this. Now I'll write the three equations like 4x plus 7y plus 2z equals to 9, 3x minus 4y plus 6z equals to 7, and 4x plus 5y plus 2z equals to 8. Okay, these are our equations. Now what are the variables? Our variables are x, y and z. These are our three variables. So these are the cells assigned for the variables. Now we need to write these equations in Excel format. So equals to 4 into x plus 7 into y plus 2 into z, and hit enter. What is our constant? Our constant is 9. Similarly, the next equation is 3 into x minus 4 into y plus 6 into z, and hit enter. So what is our constant? Our constant is 7. So everything that is on the right hand side of equals to is the constant. So the numerical values on the right hand side are the constants. Now what the other equation is? 4 into x plus 5 into y plus 2 into z. Now hit enter. What is our constant? Our constant is 8. Okay, now we need to solve the equation. So click on this cell and on solver. So here we will reset all this. Okay, now what is our first objective? Our first objective is this equation. And what is our first constant value? The first constant value is 9. What are the cells? These are the cells. Okay, we have selected the cells. Now we'll check this. Now we'll add other equation. So what are our other equation? So our equations are this is the second equation. We'll change this to equal to, and the constant is this. Now again we'll add the third equation. So third equation is this. So we'll change it to equals to, and the constant is this, and we will press OK. After that we will click on solve. After clicking on solve, we have the solutions. These are three solutions of x, y and z. So if we place or substitute these values on these three equations, then the equation get satisfied. So these are the solutions. So here we see how we can use these solver add-ins to solve three variable equations. Now similarly, we can solve the equations that have multiple variables in this same process. Now we will see how to solve the quadratic equation. So the quadratic equation can also be solved in a similar way. So now let's write the equation here. So 4x square plus, and we have 10x plus 2 equals to 0. So if this is our quadratic equation, then what is the variable? The variable is x. Now we need to write this equation in our Excel format. So equals to 4 into what is x? This is x. And will that the power using this symbol, we call it as caret, and this is square. So 4x square plus 10 into x plus 2. And what is the constant? The constant is 0. Now to solve this, we'll click on this cell, go to data and solver. Now we will reset all the values. Okay. Now what is our objective? Our objective is this equation, and we need to set our constant. So the value of constant is 0. We leave it as it is. Now what is our variable? The variable is this cell. Now we have done it. Now we don't have any other equation, so we'll leave this as it is and uncheck this option. After doing this, we'll click on solve. Now we have the solution of this equation, minus 0.21992. So this is the solution of this quadratic equation. Now if we substitute this value in this equation, then it gets satisfied. So this is how we can use MS Excel to solve the equations. So thank you for this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you have any queries and if you have any suggestion regarding this video, then comment it down below. And if you want to see more updates from us, then subscribe the channel and hit the notification bell icon alongside. Thank you. See you soon.